everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today I am going to share with you some projects I made on the weekend. So as many of you have known from what's been on my channel is I do subscribe to the Scrapbook and Cards Today sampler kit, and I get that every month, and unfortunately I can't always quite keep up with things as they come in, and so I thought this weekend I would make a stab at using up as many of the kits as possible. So what I want to share with you today is what I made using a number of the kits. Now when I say I'm using the kits, I mean I used them up as much as I could, but I do have like a little jar of little bits and pieces that I didn't use from the kit, as well as the odd, 6x6 piece of paper. At this point, I'm considering the kit's pretty much done, and so that's just going to go in my stash, and I'll use them on other projects whenever or however the time warrants. So I have a few different projects to share with you, and ranging from cards to scrapbook pages, and basically that's it. But different size scrapbook pages. So I got 6x8, 12x12. So I'm going to show you what's what. So this particular card here, and I don't remember what kits they came from, right? So they were from this year. But I will tell you a few little bits and pieces about some of them. So this here is a Project Life card, and I didn't think I would ever use that in like a Project Life pocket page scenario, but I thought this would make a really cute like graduation card maybe. It says "Let your light shine bright." So I quickly whipped that up, and I don't put anything in the inside typically, but that is the first card I made. This one here had quite a bit of stuff from the I Am collection. So I did pull in some of this mirror cardstock from the Tonic Studio kit that I get. This here I believe is from Freckled Fawn, but then the paper and this 2x2 square is from the I Am collection that came in one of the kits. Along that same line with the I Am collection, I have the circle of this butterfly was cut out from one of the pattern papers. I stamped the word "Hi" with a Felicity Jane stamp set, and I smudged some black, so I just added this banner across. These little butterflies, gem butterflies, I've had them in my stash for probably about 9 or 10 years. I know I bought them in Canada, and I've lived in the US for almost 7. So I just thought that added a little bit of something to a really basic card. This is pretty much the same design, only this time I did not smudge, so I didn't need the strip along the border. I think if I were to do this again, I would probably stamp out the word "hello" just to balance it out a little bit, but I'm quite happy with how that looks. And of course you always have leftover bits, so that triggered another card. So this circle piece here came from in here, and all I did here was I mounted that on foam adhesive, again trimmed out another butterfly from the cardstock, added some self-adhesive rhinestone. This is a painted hello. I believe this is from Simon Says Stamp. I just trimmed that out of scrap cardstock. This is also from the I Am collection. Same design, just different pattern paper and a different sentiment, "Hello friend." This was from another kit. This was super quick and easy, you guys. All this is a Project Life card. I took some of that mirrored cardstock I had from a Tonic Studio kit. I had this leftover chipboard piece. I think this was from a Heidi Swap like ephemera, chipboard ephemera pack, and I just added that on, and I'm calling it done. One of the collections had some stuff from Doodlebug. It was from their Punny collection. So all I did was just trimmed out some paper, die cut, add the little ephemera on some dimensionals. I used one of their Punny sentiments. I did not have the ephemera pack piece for that, so I just wrote that on here, "Peas Be Mine," and then added some of the epoxy hearts that came in the kit. Same deal with this one, only this is with the soda can, and I just hand wrote "You Are So Delightful." I think these will be part of my Valentine's cards that I'll send out to my nephews and nieces in February. And then this one, I didn't know what the sentiment was supposed to be. I think it was something about being jealous or so jelly or something, but that didn't really quite fit. So I just am going to treat it like a cute little icon, and that is going to be the third card I made using that collection. This one here, there was a ephemera piece that said "You're a Peach," and I didn't think I would probably put that on a layout, so all I did was took some of the gold embossed vellum, some patterned cardstock below, just mounted it on some adhesive, and I've got a card. So all of this came from the kit. I did not add anything additional. So that was it for the cards that I made. I made two 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts. This one here I'm calling Autumn Love, and it's about a trip I made in 2010 to British Columbia. It was actually technically a work trip, but one of my best friends lives in the area, and so I got to visit with her, and we went out to Harrison Lake and walked around in the fall. Some of the leaves were just starting to change. It was really quite pretty. All of the pieces in here came from the sampler kit with the exception of the enamel dots, which I picked up from my stash, and then the stickers that I did the word autumn, that was also from my stash, but everything else was from the kit. And then the last 12 by 12 page I did is this one here. This is using a Pink Fresh, I can't remember what it's called, Simple and Sweet or something like that. Present and in Awe, and basically this is just a photo that I took last year, and I just wanted to make a nod or make a note to myself about how far I feel I've come in probably the last 10 years or so. Sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves, and we don't always let that show. You know how happy I feel on the inside with how far I've come, and even with, you know, how good I feel on the outside. I mean, if you had talked to me 20 years ago, you would never have seen me in a photo. Very self-conscious about the way I looked and how much I weighed, and don't get me wrong, I'm still overweight and all that, but I'm much more accepting of who I am and where I am, and hopefully where I'm going. So that's what this layout is all about. I also made two 8.5 by 11 spreads in my Camp Reset handbook using this SCT sampler kit. So I created one about me taking the time to read. I used to be a voracious reader, and I seem to have lost a little bit of that over time, and how the Camp Reset has helped me, you know, reconnect back with that love of mine. And then on the other page, I just put together my little kit, or documented the little kit that I put together of things to, you know, take care of myself, make me feel, you know, a little relaxed, pampered, that kind of thing. So that, let me see, can you see that? Those are the two pages I put together. And then the last thing that I did, so I started an I Am book based off of the Simple Stories I Am collections, and they've had two now. So the idea was to use a lot of their product in this album. It's ironically, I've hardly used any of it. But basically what I'm trying to do in this album is just do a little bit more journaling and documenting about me and who I am, what my role is, and what characteristics I have, etc. So from this, one of the scrapbook kits, again, it's the one with the I Am collection, I made the cover page for the album. And I'm just calling it Reflections on Who I Am. It says I am creating the life I want. It's got some of those butterflies, and then I just layered, well, these are two Project Life cards, and then I just layered some paper. And then this page here was done using the collection, and I'm just talking about how adventurous I am. And basically it's about how many countries I visited, you know, the fact that I live in a different country than the rest of my family, some of the studying I've done, or what kind of jobs I've done, that kind of thing. I think I still have some more stories to tell here, but I couldn't find the photos to go with them. or I may have to go back through my albums and find some photos and just take some photos of photos kind of thing. This was the first time I've ever driven a moped, and we were on Vancouver Island, and I did a little bit of driving around sightseeing with that. So that was the one layout, and then this is the other one about being a friend. I am a friend, and then this is a recent photo. This was taken this summer of one of my closest friends and myself, and I just talked a little bit about how friendships have changed over the years, but I've always had some really great friends, and it's a little sad that not all of them have withstood the test of time, but that I still treasure the time that we did have. And so that's just a little bit of documenting about that. Basically, that is it, and I feel really good about what I've accomplished. I've now put a little bit of a dent in my back stash of kits and not feeling quite so overwhelmed. So now I just have to tackle the Hip Kit Club kits. That's a little bit, those kits are much bigger, so it's going to be a little bit more more intensive. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. If you do, let me know below. I don't film every single product that I make. Like, I don't film every single project I make, I should say. And so if you don't mind just seeing the projects as opposed to doing process videos, I'm more than willing to share. Just let me know if that's something you're interested in. I think that's it. Until next time, happy crafting.